Hello, my name is Jonathan Dickson, Vice President of International Corporate Services at OTC Markets Group. Today I'm joined by Jonathan Paterson, founder of Harbour Access. Jonathan, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Jonathan, what would you say the most cost-efficient strategy for a company to enhance its USIR strategy is?
Yeah, I guess I would break it down into two or three parts. Obviously, having a plan, an investor relations plan in place would be a great place to start. It doesn't have to be expensive. And then breaking that further down into the investor relations assets that you have. So the presentation, your website, your social media, and then in terms of the conferences that you're looking to attend, would certainly be a great starting point. And then going on further from there, looking for management to come over to the US, engage with investors via non-deal roadshows and also conferences.
Yeah, so you'd say having that plan, that initial plan ready to get going, and then kicking off your US strategy. So you've got a plan and you're ready for action as you go in.
Yeah, and essentially having a QB or a QX quote here in the US would be that first step. And then making sure that all of your assets are Americanized. We're both from the UK. There are some commentary and some jokes that aren't sort of recognized in the US. So just making sure that everything's been Americanized or North Americanized. Not to forget about Canada. Canada's seen a great influx of assets under management and have a lot of interest in non-US companies from an investment standpoint.
So that's interesting. I suppose it's those nuances that, as Brits, if you're doing a UK roadshow or UK IR strategy, is very different to a US IR strategy, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too dissimilar, but again, to go back to that plan, that measured approach that we talk about, you've got to make sure that your assets are all in place, that presentation's on your website. When you go to the website, is the presentation easy to find? Everyone these days, when you mention a company, the first thing that we do is we go to the website to have a look. So you've got to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row in terms of the website. And then making sure the presentation is the thing we find companies fall down on the most. You go to the presentation and it'll have June 2022. Is that truly the latest presentation that you have? So just making sure those small things, everyone's excited to get out and meet with investors, new investors, in a new marketplace, but just taking your time, taking that measured approach really pays dividends in the long run.
It's interesting you say that, because one of the things that we're big advocates of is the attention to detail and just making it easy for that US investor to buy that international security. So little things like making sure your OTCQX or OTCQB ticker is available. Would you say it is those little bits of attention to detail that make it work?
Yeah, and again, that ticker symbol, I've just learned this, but on social media it's called a dollar tag. Right. So the US dollar symbol, followed by the ticker on any of your social media, will actually create a searchable icon. So presentations, always in the bottom corner, the bottom corner, the top corner, have your ticker symbol. So when you're presenting to an investor or you're talking to them, if you're doing it virtually, they're able to go onto Bloomberg or wherever it may be to actually do some analysis.
That's really interesting, and something people probably don't think about normally in their day-to-day.
Yeah, and I know that I've been personally caught out a couple of times where we've given a client a shout out on LinkedIn. I know that Jason here at OTC is always there and puts the ticker symbol in. Yeah. So again, it's just these small details that help build up over time that awareness here in the US.
Excellent. Well, Jonathan, thanks so much for coming down to our New York office today. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.